The number of casualties following the Shabaab attack in Somalia's El Ede camp a few hours ago is still unknown. The government is, however, expected to give the exact figures of those who perished. Earlier on, Somalia's Foreign Affairs Minister Abdurrahman Duale was to have a press briefing regarding the Friday dawn attacks. Our senior reporter Patrick Amimo was at the Somali embassy and now joins us. Patrick, what happened earlier today?
Thank you so much, Najma. Indeed, the Somali Foreign Affairs Minister Abdurrahman Duale had convened a press conference at 11 this morning. But what happened was that when we got to the Somali embassy, which is in the Hurlingham area, we got a GSU officer was at the gate, had been given instructions that the media briefing had been postponed indefinitely. So there was no clear answer, but the person we got was these are the security person who told us that the media briefing had been suspended indefinitely. We don't know what might have informed this decision by the minister, because the invite had been sent at least an hour earlier to the event. And at this particular conference, we expected the minister to tell us an indication at least on what happened at this particular camp, because there are conflicting reports that about this particular camp, whether it was an SNA camp that was attacked or a KDF camp that was attacked. Because from the statement from the military, it said that it was the KDF soldiers countered the attack that after the Al-Shabaab militants had attacked the SNA camp. So we wanted the minister to, we thought through this news briefing, the minister would have clarified some of the missing links in this particular story. But unfortunately, the minister cancelled the media briefing at the last minute. Najma?
Amimo, we still don't know the number of casualties. Has there been any word? Because the international media is quoting different numbers.
Indeed, it's an interesting scenario in that AMISOM head office has confirmed that, has condemned the attack, and they say that casualties and injuries have been recorded from both sides, both the Al-Shabaab militants and the AMISOM soldiers. But even AMISOM itself has not given the numbers of the casualties, the numbers of those killed or those injured. But it says there was a heavy fighting in that particular that El Ade camp, and both sides suffered casualties and injuries. The same applies to the Kenya Defence Forces. They have acknowledged that there were casualties, but according to the spokesman David Obonyo, Colonel David Obonyo, the last statement he sent last night was that they were still consolidating the figures in order to give us the real numbers on those killed, those who are injured, and the soldiers missing in action. But the Al-Shabaab spokesman has claimed those figures that are being quoted by the foreign news agencies are from the Al-Shabaab spokesman, who's quoted saying that at least 60 KDF soldiers have been killed. These are claims made by the Al-Shabaab militants, and and in these, when it comes to such kind of military exercises and dealing with terrorism, there's bound to be propaganda. So the figures given by the Al-Shabaab spokesman could also be taken with a pinch of salt. They could be not the clear figures, but what we understand was that what we told that is that this particular El Ade camp had about between 300 to 600 Kenyan defense soldiers who are manning this particular camp, and if there was another also SNA army camp nearby which was also attacked. We also yet to get the right figures from the Somali federal government. Though the Somali Minister for Defense, that is General Sheikh Ali Dini, has also condemned the attack and says that attack will not, they'll ensure that despite the attack, the Somali National Army will continue with the AMISOM forces to ensure that Al-Shabaab are defeated and Somalia is back to stability. But also the general has not given the number of casualties on the Somali side. So it's an area that is still the figures are yet to come. But this morning, the Minister for Interior, Major General retired Joseph Nkaiseri, was to brief the media in Mombasa on security situation, and we expect maybe on this particular occasion the minister, the cabinet secretary, will take advantage and maybe give us some answers on the number of casualties and the injured following this Friday dawn attack in Gedo region, Somalia. Najma?
Thank you very much, Patrick Amimo, there giving us a brief of what happened in Somalia. a few hours ago. Now, the Al-Shabaab have been pushed out of Somalia major cities by the AMISOM and KDF, but they still launch guerrilla attacks across the region. We now move